It's the one only the Spudic, bringing you guys another gameplay commentary. This is Ellis Goes Online, and this is a follow-up to the video I posted about Argonian / Wizards riposte. Is it overperforming? And I had a lot of players said it wasn't, and it was a learn to play. But I wasn't interested in that. Right? Not saying I was interested, but it's not, you're preaching to the choir. I pretty much feel that same way. However, I focused more on the players who said it was overperforming. And this video is a perfect representation of like what I deal with and how Wizards and Argonian passives really come in handy if you build towards it. So a lot of players who said it was overperforming, it was just kind of surprising that their example of it overperforming was when it was in a 1v1 situation. And a lot of players mentioned that, there should be a cooldown, and a few people said instead of it being an area of effect, minor main, it should apply to 1 or 2 or 3 people. But then that makes, don't feel offended by this statement, but it's just not logical. It makes absolutely no sense. If you're having an issue with a set in a 1v1, why would the area of effect ability be the thing you want to curb? Maybe you might want to curb, maybe you might want to give a cooldown. But there are a lot of sets which I've mentioned, right? There's Nightmare, which I forgot to mention, Heroic Slash, Mass Hysteria, a whole slew of things that allow you to get this effect. This effect works for me, especially when you're in outnumbered situations. Some players just don't get that. They're not in this long drawn out fight. And if they are, they're in this massive group that, 3, 2, 1 proxy dead, negate, and they rinse and repeat. My situation is a lot different. I'm in situations where I have to get from point A to point B, point A to Z, and just really focus on so many things. My burst, my rotation, just being elusive, and all of these things really are affected if you don't have something that allows you to get in and out of fights. And Wizards does that. I've been playing this class with varying setups, and when I did post the build with Wizards, a lot of players said I shouldn't have. They said, you should go with Breton 1 for Argonian instead of Argonian. You should go with the more damage sets, right? War Maiden. And how come I'm not going War Maiden? And now players are finally starting to realize why, I continue to be effective regardless of what class I play, because my overall goal in this game is to push myself to the limit and test it, and not just test it in this kind of one-dimensional fashion where you get high weapon damage and that's how you 1vx, and that's becoming a thing of the past. Like I said before, you have to be able to have this ability to be pressured and switch to offense and defense at any given moment. A lot of players are missing that component, and it's really difficult in a Templar because most of its skills are channel abilities. Puncturing Sweep is a channel. Jesus Beam is a channel. And when you're in this outnumbered situation, you have to be very careful when it comes to lining up your shots. You cannot have sustained DPS on a Magicka Templar, nor can you have it on a Stamina Templar anymore. That ability is no longer there, right? You no longer have Shuffle, and you can no longer have Heavy because the snare in this game is just at times it's too much, but we've mentioned this to Zoss, and they've not really made any changes, and it comes with the territory. That's why I guess this famous phrase from Despotic, which is to adapt, and a lot of players have this kind of sentiment that you do have to, but that's my point. Wizards came in handy in this fight, and if you're not accustomed to these types of fights, then what you need to do is revisit your build and figure out what it is that you're doing. Instead of having that 4.5k weapon damage, maybe you can have 3.5k weapon damage and then increase your resistance, increase your heal. Like, you have to have a well-rounded build. You no longer can have this build where players are just a lot better, especially the players that I run into. There's this statement that you cannot X good players. You can't, but the bad players are no longer that bad, right? And they're they're really good. So just keep those things in mind. Anyway, it's the one only Despotic.